is an Unspoiled Network podcast.
This is Unspoiled, Harry Potter, info dump / Wizards Unite / hi everybody. In this episode, Rashawn and I are going to talk about this new game that came out. I'm going to tell you all about some stuff that is coming up. And we're just going to chit-chat a little bit and just, check in with y'all. How you been? How you doing? Do you miss us? Of course you do. Why aren't you a patron? Etc., etc. Welcome to Unspoiled. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Natasha.
I'm Rashawn.
You know us.
Ooh. I just opened the game, and there's a little something for me to catch, so you know.
Oh, shit. She's distracted. Somebody send help.
It's the vampire again. God damn it. No, we're not fighting.
I still haven't fought a vampire.
I'm not fighting him. I'm putting my phone down.
Oh, I feel really honored that I'm worth more to you than the vampire. Not many teen girls would say that. So everybody, we Harry Potter Wizards Unite, the mobile game, came out yesterday for most of us. Some people, this morning, and it is right now Friday, June 21st at 8 p.m., we're still not able to access the game.
Oh, no.
It was not showing up for them. On their website, it says free download in the United States, United Kingdom, Australia, and New Zealand, and has now begun to roll out globally. So, it's, apparently a slow work in progress.
Did you have to get, because I did the thing where I pre-registered. I wonder.
I pre-registered, but I didn't get the email that it was available until today.
Oh,
I only saw that somebody was like, oh, hey, I have a number, and it was somebody that had not had the game a couple days ago when I found out about it, and I was like, it's not out, though. They said it comes out the 21st, and I checked, and it was there at 10 in the morning, which of course means I got nothing done yesterday, except for a lot of sweating, because it was 96 degrees feels like 123 degrees. Welcome to Texas. So, Rashawn, I'm an avid Pokemon Go player to this day because I'm ride or die, bitches. I don't give up on a game just because it's slow and buggy and I run out of balls all the time and I can't trade stuff with my friends for 2 years. That's not me, all right? I was still playing. But Rashawn does not have that frame of reference. So what do you think of this game as, the whole way that it plays?
It is astounding to me. I was really impressed. I didn't know what to expect. And I didn't know that you could be in the game and you would see, your actual surroundings. But see it through the VR of the game. Mm-hmm. So that was really fun. And I'm going to die because I'm clearly going to get hit by a car.
Oh, God. I thought you meant in the game. I was like, I don't think that you can die.
No. I'm going to die in real life. Because my navigating around the city and being aware of my surroundings is already kind of suspect. And if
somebody put a protective charm on Rashawn for me when you get the chance, thanks.
Anyone who's Facebook friends with me or even listeners of the podcast, you guys know I fall all the time anyway. So this is just a recipe for disaster. But I'm okay with it. I feel like I made my choices.
Stay away from hot tubs.
But no, the game is great, and there's all kinds of fun stuff you can do. Like Pokemon, you just catch your little creatures, right? Mm-hmm. But in this game, once you lock on to a what are they called? Unfoundables. unfoundables?
Yeah, the little things that pop up for them are called traces. And then unfoundables are the things that, or confoundables are the things that are protecting the foundables. Mm-hmm. Right.
So then you have to do a little spell that's very reminiscent of the Hogwarts mystery game, where you kind of like trace.
Oh, is it?
Oh, did you play that?
No, I didn't. Oh. I downloaded it, and as soon as I saw that I could do about 2 things before running out of energy, I was like, yeah, and then deleted it.
I played it
in the same.
I played it for a little while, but so yeah, in that game you would have to do a spell, and you would have to trace your fingers along, very much the way this game is. So I was like, okay, I know how to do that, and you get your little profile that you can set up. Which I
love it.
I took great care to make sure that all my information was consistent. So I picked my wand, and I went and checked my Pottermore account to make sure I had the specs on my wand, right. I'm not just going to be making shit up willy-nilly.
Yep. This has to mean something. God damn it. Nothing else in my life does.
So the only thing I haven't done yet is I haven't gotten a picture up for my profile, but I found today that there are like some stock ones you can use. So I just used a little Ravenclaw uniform as my little like stock photo until I get a picture I want to use.
The Ravenclaw like tie and collar and sweater. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little like I like that they have those options even though the colors aren't correct, because at least I don't have to look at a raven. Right. But it does get me a little salty to this day that there are ravens. It's never gonna be over, and I'm never gonna be okay with it. And I just have to be okay with the fact that I'll never be okay.
At this point, like any kind of thing that comes out is, as far as merchandise or games or anything, is all like Warner Brothers properties, right? The movie property. So that ship sailed, and we'll just be bitter eternally about it.
So I had mentioned, first of all, I said that I was ride or die, but then talked about a game I deleted within 10 minutes of downloading it. But that doesn't count because that was a test run. I committed to one.
You weren't actually in the car.
Once I did that. Yeah, right. I sat down in the car and I was like, all right, my lift is here. And the guy was like, where do you want me to take you? And lit a cigar. And I was like, you know what? Bye. So the thing that has been coming up a lot is people being really frustrated with how quickly you use up energy and how difficult it is to get.
I have not. I saw a whole thread, and I have not run into that problem at all. And I think it's because I'm very lucky.
You live in the city. Yeah. You live in Philly, and that kind of thing is just going to be so much. Like, I still remember when I first started playing Pokemon Go. It was on vacation in Galveston. And Owen and I got really spoiled on our first day playing, thinking this is just how it is. And then we got home, and there were no Pokestops within a 20-minute walk. Like, you had to really go out of your way. And I'm lucky in that even though it is a 20-minute walk, there's like 4 of them actually. And 3 of them are inns, and only 1 is a greenhouse. But I have to go a little bit of an extra way to get to the other 3. The first one is a greenhouse. However, as of earlier today, the game runners came out on Reddit and announced that they were changing the way the energy distribution worked. So now they have made it so that you can get energy from greenhouses after all, when you used to only be able to get like plant ingredients. And they're making it so I'm trying to find the exact thread because somebody shared it. Like all of the details about what it is that they updated, but I can't find the thread. But I'll tell you all once I find it. I didn't like. It's not even that I didn't have that problem, because I did run out of energy at one point, but I used to run out of Pokeballs all the time and not be able to do anything. So for me, this is not unreasonable.
This is not a new experience for you.
And I'm kind of surprised at how upset people were getting, because a lot of folks were also Pokemon Go players, and I think they felt like there were less options for getting Pokeballs or there were more options for getting Pokeballs than there was energy. So even though the mechanic of running out was the same, and you don't just build it up over time, if you go to bed, you're not going to wake up with Pokeballs all of a sudden, the same way that you don't wake up with energy. But people feel like with Pokemon, now they have a lot of options. Once a week, you get a gift that's full of Pokeballs, depending on how far you walked the previous week. You can trade with friends now and give each other stuff. And because those aren't present in this, people feel like it's a little bit of a step back, you know. Trading would be cool if we could do that. Like, I've made 150 friends in 2 days, and I don't know why, because I don't know what I can do with friends. I've seen people talking about teams.
Yeah, there's like challenges. I accidentally started a challenge and I had to back out of it real quick.
Oh shit! Okay.
I hit a button for a challenge, and then it like asked me to use a rune, so I did, because what I was trying to accomplish was, there's like a checklist of things that you can do daily, and if you complete all of them, you get like a bonus. Right. So I both yesterday and today I did 6 of the 7. The 7th is you have to have a challenge, like a fight and win.
Right.
Which is what I just did again by accident, because I can't tell when the fight's going to happen. So I'll think I'm just going to catch something, and then it'll be a fucking werewolf waiting for me, or in this case, a vampire. And I got my ass kicked twice.
So were you at a fortress?
I don't know where I am. I don't know. Something was glowing. I clicked on it like, oh, I want to catch that. And then it opens up, and instead of being, a little confounded thing, it's like, it's a vampire squaring up. I didn't ask for that. So you have to.
I don't think that's the same thing as I think.
Well, no, there's 2 different things. There's like
Okay.
there's like a challenge, just like the thing I did by accident today. It like I went into it. I picked a rune, and then it was like add 5 friends, like invite 5 friends to this challenge. And I was like, oh, that's a group thing. I'm not trying to do that. So I got out of that real quick. But the thing for your daily checklist is you have to, I almost want to say duel, right? You have to, it's like a one-on-one with something.
Right.
And you fight, and each of you has a stamina bar. And after, depending on how many times you get hit or you successfully hit it, that's who wins. You haven't had one of those yet?
I mean, I have, but I didn't, I thought that those like fell in with it. See, this is why we're doing this show, guys, because there's a lot of stuff that's sort of still unclear. And like when you go to the FAQ on the website that made the game, it is nothing. There are no answers to anything like this, no gameplay answers. So that's why I've been kind of like trying to find a good spot that isn't just Reddit, because that's not laid out in a way that's easy for my brain to comprehend. But yeah, so the thing that you can add friends to is in the fortress, right?
Okay.
Is that what you were saying earlier?
I guess. I mean, like I said, I'm just roaming around, you guys. I don't know. I'm going into inns. I'm checking out greenhouses. I'm hitting whatever is lit up on the screen, basically.
Gotcha. Okay. So I had been saying that there was an update, and I'll read this to you guys. We've received great feedback from our beta and US and UK players about spell energy. Thank you for your notes and thoughts. We are making the following changes. The amount of spell energy given to players who first enter the game has been increased from 25 to 50. Increase the amount of spell energy you get from inns and greenhouses. Increase the amount of spell energy you get from daily assignments. To collect an ingredient or portmanteau went from 5 energy to 10. Thank you for your feedback. Keep it coming. So that's pretty cool. They were super receptive, and that's a really quick change to
I mean, it's only been live.
Everything launched yesterday. Yeah. Also, there is a kind of guide for making things a little bit easier on your phone.
Oh.
They recommend turning off AR to save battery power, because turning the camera on and getting the object situated within the actual view of what you're seeing around you takes a lot of extra battery.
Oh, okay.
So if you turn that off, it gives you a sort of like default like grass and trees background, which is what I've been using on Pokemon Go forever. So that's very familiar to me. I turned it off pretty quick.
Yeah, I kept mine the whole time.
And I mean, there's if it's not giving you problems, if you're not like constantly running out of battery, then keep doing it. Who cares, you know? But if you're going to be out for a while playing and you know you're not going to have access to a backup battery or outlet, then you can just do it for that one day of play. It says turn off vibration and turn off opening sequence to save on battery power and time. Shut off map camera idle to prevent the screen from spinning whenever you look away from your screen. I didn't know that was a thing. Are you hearing and understanding what that even means?
No, I'm not.
Prevent the screen from irritatingly spinning whenever you look away from your screen. I'm doing that right now. I'm looking away, and it's not spinning. So I don't know what they're talking about. Maybe that's a particular thing on certain phones. And then download all assets when you have a Wi-Fi connection to save on bandwidth. This requires 3.3 gigs of free space. And that I did, and it took me like 5 minutes to finish downloading it all. I have no idea what assets are, and they don't explain it.
Aren't your assets...
So take that for what it's worth.
Like your potions and your... I don't know.
I
don't know.
I'm going to Google that shit right now. And then turn down brightness to save battery power and report every bug and irritating feature you encounter. Niantic plays the numbers. The less people who complain, the less likely they are to fix a bug, and if only a few people report it, it will never get fixed.
So here's a question.
Okay.
Oh, you know, I think I just answered it. Like, I want to just turn off the music.
Oh yeah, that's in the settings. If you go under your briefcase icon in the upper left.
Gotcha. Done and done. Yeah, I don't need all that. Off with the vibration.
Oh, here it is. Downloading all assets is a feature added in a new update which lets you download the majority of the game on Wi-Fi and saves your mobile data. So that's good to know. Those of you who are on limited mobile data.
Nice.
I have unlimited, so I don't have to worry about it, but I did it anyway, and I'm sure I'll be glad, because probably having it downloaded, it also will make the game like work more smoothly, I would guess, because it's not constantly reaching out to get information. It's native on the phone or local. And one of the things is that doing battles in the fortresses takes up a lot of energy. So if you're having a problem with gaining or holding on to energy, focus more on individual confoundable, what's the word I want? Encounters, I guess, rather than going into the fortresses too much. And let's see, I'm trying to find if there are any other, like, because this is I'll actually see if I can remember to include the link to this, because this is a lot of gameplay information on this Reddit page, and it's very practical stuff. So probably a lot of your questions will be answered here, and I'm guessing that if you go into the comments, there's even more that's been answered there. And this page has been updated with some of the changes that they've made. They've crossed out what was originally true and edited it to add what's new.
Already?
So it looks like somebody's really managing this page, yeah. Like the increase in energy and stuff. They crossed out how much you were getting from inns and greenhouses initially, and now it shows what you're getting now. And one thing that I will say that I did, because I know I'm going to be playing this game forever. This is my forever game. I dropped some cash and upped the storage vault for everything. I don't like to spend money on games. It's just not something I tend to do. But when it's something that's permanent, it's not, an ingredient or a portmanteau key or something, I am going to be fine with spending that money, because it'll be like permanent improvement to gameplay for me. So I upped my vault storage, and then I went out to downtown last night and just loaded up at all the inns on as much energy as I could. And, yeah, that was because I live somewhere. I don't have a car. I always have to borrow it. And, you know, it's really hot here, guys. I don't know if you heard me earlier, but I'm not always going to be able to make it all the way out to those faraway places. So that's something that will work for me. But, you know, I get if people don't want to be spending money.
Yeah, I do too. I try not to give in to the frustration that I encounter when I'm playing a game and I get stuck. I think I told you recently I dropped $3 in Candy Crush because I had just been on this one level for an interminable amount of time. Mm-hmm. And I was like, fuck it. But I have deleted games that I like. Once I start like spending money, I'm like, oh no, I can't have this game anymore. I used to play. Did you ever play? What was it? Clash of Clans, I think it was called.
I didn't, but I know a ton of people.
I got like really sucked into that a couple of years ago. Oh, it was a problem.
Did that have a chat room?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those chat rooms are bad.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not. You know, I'm not a chat person.
Oh yeah, you aren't. I am. And spoiler alert, I started to spend so much time in this pointless chat, guys. And it was just bad. It was no good. Yeah. But I do low-key wish that we had a chat in this game, though. Like, not really, but it'd be pretty fun if you could make, like, a little server for just unspoiled people. That'd be rad, you know?
Yeah. But now, when I'm playing a game, I don't want to talk to anybody about it. That's why all the games I play are...
That's why we're doing a podcast where you talk about it at length for 20
all
minutes.
the games I play are like single player games. I don't like I don't like anything that you need a team for. I don't even like playing games where you have to just wait for like another person to take a turn.
Oh, I hate that. Yeah. I stopped playing Words with Friends because everybody's damn useless.
I stopped playing it too. Yeah, I get like frustrated, and I'm like, all right. I just really every game I play is an elaborate take on solitaire, which is kind of like my life. You know, that's like what you would put on my tombstone. Her life was an elaborate game of solitaire.
That is fucking amazing. That's going on a t-shirt. I need to write that shit down. Hold on. Her life was an elaborate game. Okay. I wrote enough so that I don't know what it is. Ooh, I just got a complimentary gift. Did you see that?
No. Where?
In Diagon Alley, if you scroll all the way to the bottom. Use spell energy to cast spells and traces and wizarding challenges. Get 50 spell energy. Ooh, okay.
I'm in Diagon Alley right now. I didn't see no.
I'm wondering if it popped up for me because of like I downloaded the game a little before you. It might be like a timed thing once you've been playing for a certain amount of time. So give it like another hour and it might show up for you. Because you downloaded it a little after me, right? 20 minutes after. Might be soon.
When you texted me to tell me that it was out, I had already gotten it.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
Because my coworker told me. Like first thing Thursday morning when I got to work. Yeah.
And so one thing, like, there's all kinds of stuff that I haven't actually used yet. Speaking of Diagon Alley, have you used? Well, you have to pay for them, I guess. So you wouldn't have by now, right?
What are you talking about?
Like dark detectors.
I got one. I got one. I haven't used it yet, but I don't know if it was free or if I found it somewhere. But I do have one.
Utility. Oh yeah, I have 3.
Except there.
I must have gotten it when I leveled up or something.
That's what it was. I think it was.
Yeah. And what do? They let you see something that you couldn't find, like a foundable that you couldn't tell was there without it, right?
Yeah, it
Can be placed in an amplifier to reveal higher threat traces around an inn for 30 minutes. Oh, this is similar, though not exactly the same, as lures in Pokemon. You would put a lure in a stop, and it would increase the appearance of Pokemon around that stop. But this is not just more traces in general, it attracts more high threat traces. Which I like that specificity there, because getting just more of the same bullshit, like, oh, somebody's trapped in Devil's Snare. You know, I don't want, like, if you're going to give me some new shit, I'm on that. That's cool.
Yeah. Looks like I have 3 of those as well. I've got 31 scrolls. I'm not sure let's see what's going on with those. Oh, I use my scrolls in my lessons. I did a couple of those already.
Right.
Okay.
Have you used a port key yet?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, it's the coolest. Like, this game is so much more complex in terms of gameplay than Pokemon Go is. Understandably, Pokemon Go it's based on a game for kids, like, to a degree, I get that. But I really just expected this game to be a copy, but with Harry Potter skin over it, essentially. And I was fine with that, to be honest. Like, I wasn't going to be mad. But I'm kind of impressed with the variety of things that you can do. There's making potions, which you have to collect all of the ingredients out in the wild for. So that means that you've got the traces and ingredients laying around. And that right there is more Pokemon. You go out and you hunt Pokemon, and that's all that's out there. There's no little things you pick up, between
Oh, there's not?
No, nothing like that. So that right there is fun for me, because there's a whole other, bit to do. Then making the potions is an additional thing, and I think that's really cool that you can, collect stuff to just make them rather than having to buy it.
Yeah, I've made a couple of potions so far.
Yeah. And then as you level up, you get access to new recipes, which is smart. And then profession that you were just talking about with the lessons that you go through is just such a cool, smart idea. You need to collect scrolls and different proficiencies in order to level up certain spells. It only works for, learning half of it. For example, I just did the first half of which one is this? I did the first half of Improved Deterioration Hex. So I got Impair Foe Stamina, but there's an additional -10 to foe stamina that I could get, but I haven't gotten there yet. So even within the lessons, which are a whole thing that is not part of Pokemon at all, you can up your lessons and, it's just like a whole other little subsection of stuff to do, which I think is really cool.
A lot of layers to the game that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah. In Pokemon Go, your individual Pokemon have different attacks, and if you have every time you catch a Pokemon, you get that Pokemon's candy, and you can use those to either evolve them into a much tougher version, or you can use them to upgrade their attack. But it only it upgrades that one attack. There's nothing subtle about it. This has, you can take energy away from your foe, and you can increase your Protego. It's all much more like what you would expect in an RPG game, kind of, But really, my favorite thing is the port keys.
I just went to check, and it looks like I haven't actually earned one yet, so...
Okay.
It's like I gotta
do a
little bit more walking before I get one.
The Pokemon equivalent of port keys are eggs. You put an egg in an incubator, and then you walk a certain distance, and it will hatch. And you can just collect port keys all around, like they're just sitting there. But or the portmanteau box. But in order to actually get them active, you need keys. What I really like, first of all, is how many ways there are to get keys. Because I almost never have more than one egg incubating in Pokemon, because you have to pay for incubators. And once you get, like, you can get them when you level up sometimes, but once you get to higher levels, that doesn't happen anymore. And that might be true in this too, but then when you tap it, this is the one part of the game where you can't have turn off AR. So I have my AR turned off standard, but once I use a port key, it's turned on whether I like it or not. You have to have it. And what it does is you place it where you want and tap it, and it opens a portal. And you have to physically walk towards a portal that you're looking at through your camera. And when you step through it, you're in a little virtual room that looks like you're in Hagrid's hut.
Oh.
Yeah. And what you have to do while you're in there are find all of these little, I don't even remember what they are now, but they're these little lights, and they're meant to be some kind of creature, and I can't remember what they're supposed to be. But you have to find them, so you have to stand in that spot and spin around and track all 5 of them down. And once you do that, that gives you access to an unfoundable, or confoundable, sorry. It gives you access to a tracer that you could not get otherwise.
Oh.
So port keys are the only way to get certain of the things that you need to collect. And just the whole way that you use them, I'm really excited for one to like activate for you, and make sure if you use it, you're doing it in like a spot where there's some room, a little like parking area or your living room or something, because you have to walk a little bit. And you have to find the damn port key as well. Like for a second I was just like, where is that? Spinning in the middle of the park in downtown. So yeah, I just think that's such a cool idea. And I just love that there's all these little elements that they figured out how to, and I have no doubt that they will figure out more stuff to add, because Pokemon is a totally different game now than it was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's a couple of things that you click on and it's like, check back soon. So they already have like things that they know that they're going to work on. And I'm sure there's a lot of things that we haven't even considered yet that will be coming down the line. So that should be fun.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, you know, I'd really like being able to give gifts like you can in Pokemon to your friends. That would be nice, you know, if you had, because that's in different regions, people wind up with different stuff a lot of times. So like if you had a ton of like snowdrops ingredients, you could send me some, or trade some kind of object or something like that, you know. I would love it if they would implement something like that. I know people are talking about like passive energy, in which it just like you just accumulate energy if you rest. I think that's a lovely idea. I don't think that's ever going to happen. I just don't, you know, they're not going to, I view that the same way that I would, oh, you just go to bed and when you wake up you have Pokeballs. Like, that's not how this works. I don't know. You know what I mean?
It could work that way though.
I mean, that's not the business model. They have to make money on something, and just giving away the like what makes the game go is certainly not going to be it. That ain't it. All right, fam.
That ain't it, Chief. I don't know why that's so funny to me, but it is. I have like 7 different memes that say various ways to say that ain't it, Chief. But
I love how easy it is to make you happy.
My favorite one is the Wonder Twins.
Oh my God, I haven't seen that one.
It's Wonder Twins in the form of "Get the fuck out of here," and the other one is "That ain't it, Chief."
Oh, that's funny.
Oh gosh! All right, announcements. I think you have.
Yeah. So sorry. Yeah, this was supposed to be 20 minutes. And guess what? It's not. How long has it been? It's been 34 minutes. Oh God. Okay. So guys, I wanted to tell you a couple of things. First of all, Rashawn and I are going to be at LeakyCon again this year. In Dallas, we are not going to be able to attend the Boston one. It would be so awesome if we could, but what can you do? And in Dallas, the dates are August 9th, 10th, and 11th, of Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And we have not yet gotten word when our panels are going to be. We're going to be on 2. The first is a panel with Mark Ashiro from Mark Does Stuff, and it's going to be about what it's like to experience Harry Potter for the first time in front of an audience of people who are already obsessed with it. That panel is called Hogwarts Night School for Late Blooming Witches and Wizards. That was Rashawn's title. Is it brilliant or what?
Thank you.
And I'm personally extremely excited about this because Marco Shiro was what inspired me. He was the person that made me go, maybe I should do a podcast. Like, he writes all of his stuff. He does videos now, but like really how he started was writing articles about his reactions to the chapters in Harry Potter. And I knew that actual performing on mic would be the way to go for me. And after absolutely tearing through his coverage of Buffy, I really realized how much fun it is to revisit something with a person who has never experienced it before. So I owe all of Unspoiled to Mark, and getting to be on a panel with him after so many years of him being that guy to me is just a big deal personally. To which I am sure he would be low-key horrified that I was making such a big deal out of this. But here I am, everybody. So I just wanted to, put that out there, what that is for me personally, because it's a whole other thing than just doing a panel with somebody. And I love the fact that Rashawn is going to have you're going to have such a great way to connect with him during this conversation, and yet the two of y'all experiences will be totally different because he was doing it alone. So it should be a really interesting panel. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. And the second panel that we are going to be doing is called Rethinking Ilvermorny. And it is going to be me and Rashawn and Bayana and Robin from Black Girls Create, hashtag Wizard Team. And we met them at the LeakyCon last year, and they were their panels were really, really
They really
good,
were.
guys.
They were. I went to, did I do 3? We went to 2 together, right?
Yeah, we went to
And
2
then
together, and then you went to
meetup.
one that was
I
women
went
of
to
color.
Yeah. So,
or people of color. I don't think it was specifically.
no,
women.
it was people of color. And I went to that one with Priscilla, and it was just so great. I'm really looking forward to hanging out with them and talking to them about this. And the topic of the panel should be fantastic because we are, instead of focusing on what they got wrong, we're going to talk about all the ways they could have got it right, like what we would have liked to have seen, what we would do, kind of school we would build.
Yeah, because really the whole thing is, and I'll just read you guys the little summation that I wrote. JK's concept of a wizarding school in North America left many of us feeling our racial and political history as a country was not addressed in a way that felt honest and nuanced, which left us asking, what would a wizarding school, or more likely, schools, plural, actually look like? Join us as we brainstorm ideas for schools that would reflect the regions and the people who created them. So I think that'll be really interesting. There's another panel that will be more focused on what makes Ilvermorny problematic, and the LeakyCon directors got in touch with me, and they were like, "We're just double checking. This is going to be like a conversation that's more creative rather than critical, right? Because we already kind of have one of those." And I was like, "Oh yeah, no, we're going to try and talk about what we could have done." And try not to just, be upset, which is a totally valid way to be. So yeah, those are going to be the two panels. Like I said, I do not have dates yet, but you can like us on Facebook and you can stay on top of that. It's facebook.com/unspoiledpod. And I will be, once I get what dates and times we are at, I will be putting up those as events on Facebook. So there is a second event that I want to let everybody know about. For those of you who are local to me. So if you are not in the Dallas area and don't intend to be in the Dallas area in and around July 11th, then my apologies. This will mean nothing to you. But the Dallas Arboretum, with the release of this game, and I should have seen it coming, but I didn't even think of it. When Pokemon Go was released, they had a big Pokemon event at the Dallas Arboretum because there are a billion stops there. And the page today, Priscilla shared this with me. Some of you may remember Priscilla from LeakyCon last year. She sent me a notice that they put up that on the evening of July 11th, which is a Thursday, they're going to be doing a Harry Potter Wizards Unite event. So that is going to be, I am estimating almost all of their evening events start at 6 p.m. So I scheduled it to start at 6:30. You can get directions and information. There's a little map that I included on the event on Facebook because the park is pretty big, so you need to let people know where you plan to meet. And yeah, I just thought it'd be a cool way to play the game, meet other people who listen to Unspoiled, and I just would love to see, because when we went on Pokemon Day, there were a ton of people in costumes. There were all of these charging stations everywhere, set all up, they had these huge tables with what do you call it? Power strips and chargers, so that when your phone died, you just had a spot to go. It was just really cool. And they had water set up and everything so that people didn't get dehydrated. And I love the fact that it's going to be at night because the coolness it'll be so much better. So yeah, that's again on Thursday, July 11th at 6:30 p.m. You can find out more info about that on Facebook, also facebook.com/unspoiledpod. And then lastly, and some of you have already seen this information, but this is particularly important to those of you who have been thinking about becoming a patron. I have been, for the past couple of years, allowing people to sign up on Patreon at the $1 level and $3 level. And after a conversation with Patreon the other day, they had somebody get in touch with me. Their data really points to having higher level tiers and fewer tiers altogether as being more successful because it gives people fewer options, and they tend to value you more if you put a higher price tag on what you offer. Which I know, shut up.
Okay. I'm sorry. I thought I was keeping it quiet. I didn't realize I was vocalizing.
Well, a lot of you, have been sort of waiting to become patrons until you finish listening to all of the show. And I'm guessing, when I say that there are people listening to this announcement episode right now that might be only halfway through the first listen through. I am going to be canceling access for new patrons to the $1 tier as of July 1st. So anybody who is already at $1 by then, you're fine. You're going to be locked in. You're still going to be able to access the Harry Potter reread episodes. You're still going to be able to access the back catalog of everything. If you do not make it by then, though, the $1 tier will be closed to you forever. And that is also, if you are already at that tier, nothing will change for you. But if you leave, you will not be able to come back. And it is, I think, going to be really helpful to me overall because there is just so much more simplicity at starting at $5. I'm doing away with the $3 tier as well. And there's also been a $15 tier. And there were only 6 people out of almost 700 people subscribed at the $15 level. So in the interest of making things more streamlined, I just decided to do away with that one because it's just not popular. So I just want to let everybody know that is happening. And make sure that I've given you all some warning so that you can actually get in there before it's too late. Some of you still won't get in before it's too late, and I am sorry. But I've been here for a minute, and you had some chances, and I just can't help you.
You had some chances.
You had the opportunity to figure it out. You could have gotten it right with God and Jesus, but you didn't. And for those of you who didn't find the show until recently, and you're like, I didn't even know about you, whose fault is that? You could have asked. You could have gone out into the world and been like, does anybody know of an amazing show hosted by two women who are charming and affable and coming at this material for the first time? And everybody would have been like, that's really specific. No, I don't. Because I only have 600 pages.
I believe at least one or two people would have been like, hey, no, I know this great show you should check out.
I'm like sort of in my head going, yeah, sure. But Krista met another listener in the wild.
I know, right? How crazy is that?
Yeah. So I just don't really have a leg to stand on when I scoff at that, actually. Apparently we're out there a little bit more than I expected. So I think that was about everything. And I'm going to be trying something, I believe, at LeakyCon, where if you wear an Unspoiled shirt, I'm going to give you a special reward, like a special sticker or a badge ribbon that's only for patrons or something like that, or at least supporters, not necessarily patrons. And if you are, planning on being there and you would like to participate in that, keep an eye on Facebook, because I'll definitely be sharing what I plan to do in that regard. But I think that would be fun, because that's what, don't forget, guys, that you can sign up for Akio Box with 10% off your first 3 boxes at akiobox.com using code UNSPOILED. But the wonderful ladies from Akio Box last year,
they were so great.
They were so awesome, and they gave away a little trinket to everybody who wore one of their shirts to the con. And I just thought that was a really smart idea. And last year I just didn't think that we were going to have that many listeners at the con, so I didn't think it would really be worth it. And I don't know that that's going to change this year or not, but I'm going to give it a shot and see if people participate in it. I think that'd be fun. And also we're going to have some sick-ass badge ribbons, which I shared on the Facebook page, that I think are very fun. One of them is just have a biscuit potter, because that never gets
I know,
old.
that's one of your favorites, too.
It's so good.
I remember how excited you were when we got that 10. The little cookie box.
I flipped my shit. Yes, Akio, again. They're really good, guys.
So good. I was just telling somebody at work about them. He was talking to me about one of the more mainstream, larger subscription boxes, whose name I won't mention because they don't, pay us to mention them. But
does it rhyme with poot snake?
It does.
They suck.
And that's what I said. I was like, no, the one I use when I can afford it runs circles around them.
Mm-hmm. It's true. Yeah, it's actually a little infuriating, because it's not even a contest. No. Akio Box is so much better. But at the same time, they are growing so fast.
I was just going to say, I almost don't want them to get too big.
Yeah, they're going to get flooded, and they're going to be like, oh, God.
I want them to have all the success, but I also only want them to have, a small group of people.
Right, yeah. I want them to be ours still. Mm-hmm. But yeah, definitely, guys, check out Loot Crate if you're into getting surprise stuff. Oh my God, I did it! It's Poot Snake! Poot Snake! Don't check out Poot Snake. Nobody wants a snake in their poot, am I right? Check out Akio Box. AkioBox.com, code UNSPOILED, 10% off your first 3 boxes. Their stuff is really, really, really special. Everything that I have, I'm not a big, trinkets person. I don't like a lot of clutter.
Same. I'm not really what you would call a collectibles person at all.
Yeah.
But every box that I've gotten from them, I've been just like, oh my God, look at this stuff in here.
Mm-hmm. I have, a bunch of stuff on display as we speak right in front of my face. And I don't do that too much. So, all right. So, anyway, that I think is about everything I wanted to cover.
All right.
So we've got LeakyCon, we've got changing pledges, we've got a meetup in Dallas in July, and Rashawn is going to be visiting me for LeakyCon, and guys, I'm really, really excited. And also, Rashawn, people have talked about wanting us to do like a live episode or something. I was thinking maybe if you were down, Rashawn announced to me yesterday, with no shame at all, that she's never seen John Wick. And I was thinking maybe we could have a live drunk cast for everybody to say thanks for paying for my new computer about John Wick. What do you think?
That sounds fun.
So, guys, keep an eye out for that on Facebook. It'll be sometime during the second week of August, because that's when she's going to be down. And I think it'll be great. I wanted to do a live cast last time you came, but you just didn't stay long enough. We couldn't do it. But this time, she's going to have like 3-4 days hanging out with me. So she's going to be desperate to get somebody else involved. She's going to be so sick of it just being me and you, me and me. So yeah, I think that'll be really fun. And John Wick is just so bananas. Bananas. So all right, guys, I hope that you have been enjoying any listening that you have been doing. Check out Dresden Files if you haven't already. It's super duper good.
Oh, it's so
Very
much fun. Guys, please join us for Dresden Files. It has been a blast.
I'm loving it.
Oh my God.
And I'm doing Doctor Who with Jamie, for those of you who didn't know about that. So we're in season 3 on that. And I think I might be killing Jamie's spirit a little bit.
No.
My apologies, Jamie.
No.
It's I was worried that I was going to be a downer to Jamie because I just didn't like the show and she loves it so much, and she was going to be sad that I was like constantly bagging on it. So that's what I expected in terms of killing her spirit. But what has actually happened is that I have turned her into the person who is noticing all of the problems that I didn't notice before.
You infected her.
I kind of did. So now it's like, I'll be like, oh, okay, so I must have missed that part. When did they say? And there's this long pause because I'm genuinely asking because I think I missed something. And she's like, actually, they don't mention that. When do they say that?
No.
They said this. Wait, didn't they say the opposite thing actually? And I'm like, oh God, I'm doing it again. I'm sorry. Like, I don't mean to. And then you just hear her just be sad for a moment as she realizes, no, that doesn't make any sense.
Oh no.
But like I said, we're only in season 3, and I have heard a lot of people say that the show gets a little bit more like, I won't say like grounded, but it takes itself a little bit more seriously and isn't so interested in being appealing to like families, and gets just more adult. So that sort of thing starts to get a little bit better.
Which doctor are you on?
I am on Tennant right now. Tennant and Martha.
I really do like him. I like him a lot.
I really like Martha. I fell in love with her
I don't know,
because she's so uninterested.
I have no idea who that is. I don't know him from the show. I just know the actor. I really like him.
Okay, Martha is the second companion. She's a young black medical student.
Oh, is that the black? Okay.
Yeah, and she is really, really, really fun, and her intro is really fun. So, yeah, I'm really finding myself getting irritated with the doctor and loving the hell out of the companions. Which
I feel like that
not
checks out
surprising.
though, from everything that I loosely remember about the show, and being like a little kid when it was on BBC back in the day, and like watching a couple episodes and just being like, I don't know about this dude. But this lady seems like she's got it together.
That's about it. Yeah, he's it's not like he's not likable. It's just that his there's a sort of like, oh, he's always got the answers and he's always got it together. And I'm like, he's wrong all the time. Why are y'all acting like he's so cool? He fucked up just last episode. Do you not all remember? Apparently they do not remember.
Well, that's what you're here for, to remind us.
Exactly. I'm here to bring fucking the doctor down a few fucking pegs, sir. You know what? You don't have a doctorate, you goddamn liar. Passing yourself off.
I need to see your credentials.
He's going to show me that psychic paper, and I'm going to be like, I know about your psychic paper. Again, I'm getting you, putting you under investigation. So yeah, check those out. And Miles and I have started covering the second book in the Twilight series, and that is available to $5 and up patrons. So that is super fun. We did the movie last week, and we just recorded on the actual first chapters this week. And he is so mad about how the second book starts, guys. He's so mad, and it's really funny because he actually quite liked the first book. Like, he felt like it got bagged on way too unnecessarily. But with the start of the second book, he's starting to take that back.
Is he starting to regret how he cheerleaded?
It's not even that. It's more like he was feeling like people, why are they so hard on this series? I mean, it's like not great, but it's not as bad as all that. And then he's reaching a point where he's like, oh, maybe this is what it is. But yeah, so that's $5 and up patrons. And after that, we're going to be covering Mistborn. And that is something that a lot of people are very excited about for some reason. I have never read it. I don't know why they are excited. I assume it is because they like it. Seems to make sense. So yeah, there's just a lot going on in Unspoiled World, is what I'm saying. So if you haven't liked us on Facebook, honestly, why not? Question mark. What's the problem?
It's not like you're not on Facebook every day.
Get a Facebook. Shut up. Yeah, people trying to tell me they don't have one. And I'm
come
just
on.
Like,
yes, you do.
We're going to get like 12 emails from people. Like, it's like people who didn't own a TV in the 90s. They got to let everybody know. I don't even have a Facebook. I don't own a TV. I don't know. I just, I read.
I remember when somebody was trying to get me to join Facebook, and I would be like, why though? If I want to talk to my friends, I just email them. Like, I would actually say that.
I just email them.
And now I can't even.
Bitch, if you just sent me an email, I wouldn't know what the fuck to do with myself.
I don't even. I check my email for the Crowdcast link when we're doing like Unsober or Harry Potter Live.
Yep.
But yeah, I was like, Facebook. What do I need Facebook for? I want to talk to my friends. I just email them or call them. Like, who was I even? 2009, Rashawn.
I just emailed them. Oh,
I
God.
was
It's like, it may as well be like I have a fax machine next to my bed.
You should see my fucking face when somebody calls work and asks me for our fax number.
There are so many like businesses and stuff that they still only function via fax. They don't
really
understand.
So many do. And I just want to hang up the phone. Like, if you don't get off my phone with this bullshit, what do you mean? Yes, I have a fax.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I think there's a fax coming. And then you just hang up.
Just start making that high-pitched noise.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. I just imagined how insanely loud and obnoxious that must have been for people wearing headphones.
Well, that's why I didn't actually make the noise.
That's why. Yes.
But there you were.
You would never have made that noise.
I probably would.
We could have been alone in the middle of the Gobi Desert and you would not have made that noise.
That is true. You know me very well. All right, look, this was supposed to be 20 minutes.
I know,
It's
sorry.
been an hour.
Last thing, I swear, because there's one other thing I thought of, because you mentioned the Harry Potter Lives, which had been only available to $15 and up, but now 15 is gone. So it's going to be available to $20 and up. So if you are $20 and up patron, you're going to get access to Unsober, which is a twice a month podcast where Rashawn and I just talk about various topics of interest. This week's is going to be swimming. And you will be getting access to twice monthly live recordings where you get to hang out in the chat while Rashawn and I talk about the Harry Potter reread.
So that's a live recording every week if you're $20 and up.
That is indeed correct.
Either a Friday or a Saturday.
Yeah, I did. This is part of the thing that the Patreon person yelled at me about a little bit, is that, like, if you are paying $20 a month, combined and with all of the cocktail hour and stuff and Harry Potter reread, you are getting 10 bonus episodes of content a month. And each of the bonus episodes is the length of an ordinary episode. I'm not doing any like half-hour stuff like a lot of Patreons are doing. So they read it and they were just like, this is insane. Like, I think she said this is astounding, the amount of content you're offering for the price. She's just like, this is unheard of. People have $10 and up and they give you one a month. And I was like, yeah, I don't play like that. I really feel like I need to earn my keep. And she was like, yeah, you're like one of the, I think she said you are the most prolific podcaster that I have seen on our platform, flat out. You just put out the most content. This is incredible.
Wow.
So, you know, I just dust my shoulders off.
I'm just saying, you know, people thought, you know, I don't know what they thought, but
they thought she's just one woman. What could one woman possibly accomplish? Record scratch, car door opens, gold boot comes out. And, I don't know, some song by Lizzo probably.
I was going to say the soundtrack. But I was going to say Ludacris.
Oh! Yeah. Or we could do the which I would be also fine with. There's a variety of ways this could play out, is what I'm saying. But yeah, so, alright guys, somebody do an illustration of me getting out of a car with a gold boot while Ludacris / Lizzo / Jay-Z / whoever plays. And we will be seeing you probably not for a long time with a new chat. So thanks for listening. Love you guys. Miss you all. Toodaloo, motherfuckers.
Bye, guys.
That was an Unspoiled Network podcast.